How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. We had just loaded up Crystal's store here. Crystal's smile is reflected in the merchandise. Hi there, I'm happy to tell you the business is comparatively booming. And here I just wanted to read through the various gags and things that are going to go along with this. The cracked crystal orb, for some reason selling 30 of them and 100 and 100, there's so many of them, an excess I think, really. Whatever healing magic this crystal had in it has gone sour. Deal your muscle in physical damage once per fight. I don't even think I'll get that much use out of that. A crystalline red pepper. So crystal chili pepper necklace. It's not a red hot chili pepper. That was fishing around with that. You don't even want to feel like you would if you had lost it. You don't ever want to feel like it. A crystal heart necklace, a crystal sculpture of a purple heart. Any similarity to the military award is purely coincidental. The crystal pickle necklace, that's just fun to say. A fragrant crystalline pickle on a simple silver chain, elegance incarnate. The crystal skull, there's got to be an Indiana Jones joke here without even looking, I assume so. A carved skull from a piece of gray quartz. By the power of this gray skull, you feel totally fearless. Never in a million years would I have guessed that they were going to go for a He-Man and the Masters of the Universe reference, and I'm all here for it. That's even better. A regular snowflake is also a crystal, but this one is much larger. You'd hate to be caught in the crystal gale that blew this thing in. A crystal filled with empathetic magic. Heal your entire party for your muscle. And a crystal filled with self-care magic. Heal yourself for twice your moxie. These seem pretty valuable. Maybe I buy like one more of each. Those are just like additionally extra good, so I'll run with that. A shelf laden with beautiful crystals thanks to you. I just want to confirm sometimes they have a gag where one is like slightly different than the rest. Oh, so many crystals. Plethora. And the cave. So far from what we found in this neck of the woods, it's the only thing we really have. A huge rotten log is blocking your path through the woods. I mean, well, not blocking per se, it's just a log. It isn't infinitely long or anything. You can just go around it. It just, it interrupted you. You know what I mean? Anyway, there's a big rotten log here. Well, I'll look at it, even though I don't expect much. You go around to the other side of the log and discover that the shadier, damper side of it is covered in a big, weird mushroom. Neat, or gross, depending on how you feel about mushrooms. Hated them for something like 19 years of my life and was eventually won over. We got fragrant spores out of it, so it really didn't amount to much of anything important whatsoever. The unsinkable Molly buttons. Got anything you want to say about the mushroomy world cave we got going on here? This huge writhing mass of fungus must be the reason they call this place Mushroom Mountain. One possible reason, pull some off and fight them. I wonder if I'll have to fight through like multiple things. The Puckwudgie Monsieur? It has so much health. It intends to attack Grammy for 5 physical and reduce all stats by 3. Intends to deposit a fresh mushroom monstrosity onto the battlefield. Well, first things first, I'll just shoot around and then I'll kind of decide what I want to do. Look at it. Just the rapid little punching that it did there was kind of hilarious. I loved that as much as I didn't like being attacked. I don't think... Oh, really? I could just take that thing out. Maybe that is the right place to focus what I'm planning to do here. Let me throw that out there. I could do a little bit more with that. And I will take them down. They have that excessive amount of health, so I'd rather just be free of it. I know that they're about to add more to the field, so that felt like maybe it was worth dealing with, but nah. You reduce the amount of fungus in the mountain by a small amount. There's still a lot of fungus remaining. Well, let's just keep pulling some off and fighting them then. Maybe I'll choose a different way to phrase that next time, but let's remove some mushrooms and fight them. Pull them off and beat them is what I should have started with. Mushroom Feeder intends to heal itself and its allies, increasing their maximum HP. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Well, I'm going to attack everyone, spread that around a little bit, and then, oh, do you know what? right on a line. So close. So disappointing. That's fine. Nearly, though. I don't know who assisted me there. The mob? Earlier the bat swept in, and I think that was against me from the vampires, I'm assuming. Still a lot of fungus left. That was kind of crazy. I've never seen that before. I think that was new, at least. I'm like pretty damn confident it would have been. Wow, these things really know how to defend themselves. Not really, I guess. Spoke too soon. Dark Rick, looking great, my man. Still not. Is there a chance that I can just keep doing this like infinitely? I don't know what that was. What that little effect was that just appeared on screen there. Wow, it's actually getting easier. I should check my experience. Whoa, okay. Everything is up to 200. There's the double gathering materials, but honestly, I haven't made much use of that at all anyways. Constantly damage enemies or additional AP. Do you know what? The extra AP is probably worth it enough to spend on that. Because then I can just do like a crazy man. Was that all just like math and stuff? 15 times at this point. I don't think I realized how much that had been raised up. That's pretty cool. And I guess I could chuck 2 of these at, or I could have just used my spoon. It doesn't matter. Having that extra AP is nice. Dark Rick, doing even better. Do I want to give you like a break here? I don't know what level you're at. Maybe I level up the sneak for a little while. Although I kind of assume that these things might be immune to poison. That would make sense, but I don't know it. Didn't go so hot. Maybe there's simpler times, simpler battles and things where I would get more out of that. Not just commit and do it for all 3, why not? Finish him off. There was the healing of everyone. There was a werewolf that was on fire? Is this a ring I put on or something that I'm just getting like random assistance every turn here? Because it's a little bit ridiculous, but it's quite exhilarating. Oh, that was my one thing. I should have used it on the other guy. Well, do away with your healing abilities. That fairy was against me for sure. Reduced. There's still a lot. This is what's making me think that I need a different approach here. That I'm just infinitely chipping away, but that just might be how it goes. Oh, it is. It's the raucous fracas. And so sometimes it works against me, sometimes it's for me, but that's absolutely where it's coming from. I think I just keep on fighting. Oh, only 9. So that must have been like her stats were raised in some way that made it as strong as it was that one time. Splatter around everyone. No healings. Just lit 2 random people on fire. I'm sticking with this up until a point where I imagine something will come up where, like, I don't want things to be quite so chaotic and insane and have that working against me. But for now, it's fun and silly. A cap in 2 different senses, and it adds mysticality. I could go get a photo with it. Oh god, everyone got poisoned at the start of this battle. Well, we may have suddenly reached the exact moment, he's so poisoned, where I should probably be worrying about myself a little more. That just is a mushroom. A Splode Spore. When it's destroyed, it will poison your entire team for 6. I will say I'm a little bit concerned about that. That's frightening, deadly, not too excited to have to deal with the fallout of that. Everyone is so injured. I'll just take the poison. No, I should have put that off. But everyone's just dying anyways. That hefty amount of poison and fire. Please tell me you're not going to just die when it's your turn there. Oh, good lord. How much health am I dealing with right now? How do I view my stats? 19 out of 34, and I have so much stuff stacked against me. And cure all negative status effects. I think that's probably just how I should spend that AP. Just be rid of it. You will die to poison. You'll die to poison. You're probably going to burn. You're the one thing that's not just going to die when it's your turn. And a car ran people over. Wow, that was actual chaos. this... Is it possible? Is it possible that I have to do like 10 battles? That feels really excessive and kind of like not how this usually goes. I'm just gonna carry on here. I'm having fun just throwing these globs of cheese at everyone. Just real satisfying. Really puts the brain at ease. Maybe I should have killed the one that raises extra buddies. Yeah, it probably would have been helpful. I'll worry about that next time. Nice job. Oh, not quite. I don't know, but now I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a very repetitive loop here a little bit. So maybe I should be worried about trying to get myself out of it. I will put off killing that to not have anything be any more poison than it already is. Mushroom Spear. I think I would have already had that before. I got like one more in me. The Pug Wedgie Slicer has a lot of health. More than other things. Oh, the max health to everyone is going to be devastating. I basically can't allow that to happen. Yeah, that's definitely where I'm focusing. It's not even going to happen yet. It's a little bit further off, but don't want to let that start escalating. Now we're going to have a lot of poisons dished out that I do feel a tad worried about. Thanks to whoever is handling all the runnings over of everyone. That's very great for me. I think I'll heal myself up before things get a little too devastating. Fair amount of damage. No thank you. Do away with that. More car contributions. Well, hell. I think I've finally allowed this to go on long enough that I've put myself potentially at great enough risk that for like once I should maybe try and heal myself. But I don't even know. There's so many. Heal by 5. Heal by 5. Heal. Holy damage. I'm sure I have something that would like hurt everyone as well. Reduce stats. Summon a Tin Lazy per aid. Only works in Ocean City, so I wouldn't get anything out of that. Where is some more healing based things? Restore 10 and Cure Fire. Doesn't necessarily matter right now. What is this? Heals by 10. What kind of damage are they going to do? 5. Nothing. 8. Oh. I see. Surrender. What do I lose if I surrender? I haven't done it before. Had to come at some point. Your eyes were bigger than your stomach when it came to those mushrooms who repeatedly punch you in the stomach and blacken your eyes. You totally lost the fight on purpose. You don't even care. Aloof. It's a positive thing. You lost the fight, but you didn't even care. Water off a duck's back. It's a positive stat to have lost a fight. That's funny because I guess that means you would bring that in with you and be a little bit better off your next fight. All right. The fracas is funny. It's a great gag, but I think I'm probably better off juicing up my allies. Let me try and run in for one more battle where I have that going on and not unpredictable nonsense. And really, I probably should have swapped out companions once more, but yeah, we'll see what we can get out of that. I don't remember if I upgraded the Stilton. So I'm a little bit curious here if I will be able to level that up still. I already did. That's why it attacks 5 people instead of 3. I definitely did that once already. 142, but I could read my books and upgrade something else. The Mind Melt, which I never really use. Herd 'em all. The Medicinal Manchego. Maybe that would be a good one. Oh, it's cheap too. You read the recipes and gain even more insight into the health benefits of cheese. Medical Manchego has been upgraded. Unfortunately, you're so distracted by your newfound doctoring skills that you forget your librarying skills and promptly lose the book. Maybe I need to come back here with some sort of fungal pesticide or spray or something that would do away with all of these. Because right now, the lack of progress here is concerning. Concerning is like probably too dramatic. It's just kind of halting. It's all it is. It's just a major roadblock. Hey, I'm glad that Mihaku's leveled up enough to actually start surviving some of these. That's clearly leading nowhere, which makes me think maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to move onwards towards the next area. I don't think there's really much... Oh, no. What am I talking about? The outhouse. I can go move the outhouse around. Your future self turns up again, this time lugging an old wooden crate. Here, take these. Huh? These what? It's a case of antique bandages. They'll come in handy. I almost used a soaked bandage, but I can't use them. I'll have to keep them so I can foist them off on another me to close the loop. You're just sticking me with a pointless errand I'll have to do later. No, dummy. You use these ones. Then ask Charles Wallace for the crate of old bandages that Murray left in the storeroom. That's where I got these. Sure, but didn't you get them from yourself like I'm doing now? No, I used those. Look, just take these. Jeez, you've got a lot to learn about causality. But are we always stealing from Charles in the future and continually pushing that back? Like, he would still have to have some. Dusty old crate of stinky old bandages. I don't really want to deal with that, no thank you. But I will move the outhouse. The outhouse isn't a hardware thing, is it? I have been stuck in this loop before. I have to go back in time and move the outhouse? Is that it? I don't even know anymore. Okay, yes. Where do you want me to put it? Ain't started digging yet, so that's fine. Where do you want me to put it instead? The Cave of Mushrooms. Oh, so maybe I could go there before the mushrooms had grown. The Mushroom Cave? That's an odd choice. Nobody goes mushroom picking there anymore on account of the monsters. Well, that's the rumor. You ask me, someone just ate the wrong kind of mushroom and had a bad case of the giblies. Anyway, I'll get the pit dug tomorrow and have that house finished the day after. What else can I do for you? Let me take a quick look at what you have for sale. I don't think it's anything that I will really want. Yes. Back to present time. Then I can head back to the cave. We're getting through it. You hear some growling, shrieking, laughing. They're tormenting a badger. Again, I don't have the seltzer. I do actually have to deal with them. But I'm very unconcerned. The mushrooms were getting a tad tricky. That's about as easy as it comes. Fairy Star Wand. I could be like Kirby. This tiny wand is tipped with a star made of solid gold. Don't get too excited, though, because it's only like 1/10 of an ounce. It's just really, really tiny. Wouldn't have a big impact on much of anything, would it? I guess I should have clued in sooner that... I did. After 3 battles, I started to assume that that was not going to be the option. And instead, I just kind of kept with it for the sake of milking the experience. And now I'm a little bit wondering, like, you know what? I have the experience. I'm going to grab the entire green hand, or green hands, both of them. Whatever. I just might as well. I would almost have all my basic skills then. Like, maybe I farm experience, because I don't know, I might be getting rid of it to a point where it'll never come back, definitively gone, so maybe I'm cutting that option off to grind, but whatever. This temporal anomaly does not look inviting at all. Non-violence appears to be a non-option here. So violence, then, is I guess what I will go for. Oh, Molly doesn't come back with us. That's a little bit concerning. Oh, we only have 9 health. Oh, yeah, 3 sleaze damage, but you have sleaze armor. You do have sleaze armor. Okay, so maybe that's not being calculated there, actually, the way I thought it was that I pointed out before. Oh, poor little buddy. You taught those mushrooms a lesson you're not certain they ever actually had the capacity to remember or forget. Excellent, just how I wanted. More malevolent moving mushroom men. Time to massacre. Delicious spores. Oh, that's real annoying that he started with that. Ooh, multiple things here. Sitting on a lot of health. So, nothing does a ton of damage. I could just jack up your stats. Maybe I'll do that and just make you super weak so you're like not really a concern at all. That's one option. And then I will get rid of those. No more healing or raising of max health, so I'd like to do away with that. But I knew I was kind of opening myself up to that. Huge poison. So I'll kind of just let that play out, I think. Yeah, let's get rid of them. And I know I'm going to poison myself doing that, but they get poisoned as well. It's no big concern. Again. It's a little bit harder without Molly there contributing the big sprays of attacks. The third and final group of hostile fungi. Knock the spores out of them. It is nice that it makes you aware that that is the final one. You can kind of anticipate a little better there. Yeah, he's gearing up for the big heal already. You know what? I'm going to do 2 kind of spread around and see how much damage that ends up dealing. Okay, great. That spreads around damage. I still have 1 AP left to kill that one. And no thank you. Put that away. Okay. Standing on your own here is pretty sketch. At least I don't really have to worry about those. Not super directly, at least. I will still hit it, so I think that'll be worthwhile. Can't tell what it's planning. You're just going to summon more things, and I really don't want to deal with that, so no thank you. And a kill. And now I think kind of nothing happens here, because I will get poisoned by these things, but it doesn't really matter anymore. So yeah, all set. There you go. You have reduced the number of ambulatory mushrooms in this cave to 0. 0 is the proper number. And a big swirly weird one. Based on its unnatural appearance and aura, you'd say this is the source of the bad mushroom magic. Just outright destroy it. Pretty simple. You didn't want to like drag that back to our house for some weird reason. Whoever misplaced this axe apparently did not know that trees do not generally grow in caves. Wood cutting axe. This axe is very shiny and very sharp. It definitely hasn't been left in a dank cave for decades. Deals muscle plus physical damage and causes bleeding. Quite strong, actually. Quite useful. Who the hell was it who wanted me to clear out the cave? Or was it just one of those various random side things that comes up? It's just a thing. Alright, but if we go there in present time, surely something will have changed. Someone would have come and spent some time here now that it wasn't blocked off. Ooh, these fungi are all glowy. Not glow-eye or anything. Extract some glowing goo of its excess glow. Glowing ooze, glowing green goo. Perhaps one day the world will be ready for the secret of it. I can't do anything with it currently. Very odd, very interesting. I'm going to reach inside this. I don't really care about the experience. The Shadow Mead. This is what the anti-Vikings drank. Increase meat drops by 70%. That's a huge boost, actually. And that was it, hey? Not a lot really changed in this area because of that. I'll pop my head back out just to see. No, I think that was actually it. So there'd only be one more place to send that. The outhouse, so I think I kind of might as well do it. The stench of death hangs heavily from the trees in this glade, but this is curious. On the forest floor, a handful of standing stones is displaced, scattered with no regard to order. Arrange them with the stones arranged in the pattern of a thumbs up. The trees are visibly rejuvenated. Ain't that just a treat for everyone involved? I Yes, I have to go back in time to get him to move things. Nothing else has, like, changed back here, right? Nah. Alright. Put the outhouse at the pet store. Yes, that would be new. Pet store? Oh, you must mean the bait shop. Love that sense of humor you got. Pet worms. Alrighty, I'll get the pit dug tomorrow and have the outhouse finished the day after. That is everything then. So I guess I could go there. Maybe I could do something useful with the bait, but I'm kind of a little bit suspicious that I will just be able to go get a worm pet. Spiderweb, break free, escape. I'm still curious about the bees. I wanted to do something with the bees. Scrawny looking cat. What are you selling? I have all the pets, all the things I need. It's mostly worked out that the things that the cat wants, you can usually buy, like, next to the cat, or at least quite near. Solve a maze and push through. Maybe that other one wanted sandwich cream. I already have 3 of them, so that's not going to be the case. I've already done that. Did I not stop this house from burning down? I felt like that was something that I did try to intervene during. If that's something I can still go back and do, I wouldn't mind if someone just told me, rather than going through a whole loop of different processes to make that happen, moving the outhouse and everything. Just tell me. Oh, hey, that's your past self over there. Here's your chance to hand over the crate of old bandages. But that's not what you were supposed to do. It occurs to you that you haven't gotten the crate of bandages from Charles yet. The crate you have now is the one the future gave you. And he said he used those. Won't giving yourself these bandages screw up the timeline? Do it anyway. I think, huh? These what? It's a case of antique bandages. They'll come in handy. I can't use them. The loop, da-da-da. Oh, geez. Were you really such a whiner back then? So much so that you'd refuse medical supplies from your own self? Good grief, how embarrassing. No, dummy. You use these ones, then ask Charles for the crate that Murray left, or, well, that's where you would have gotten them if you'd gotten around to it. But since this is the same crate either way, it shouldn't matter, so long as you say the same thing to your future self, right? But didn't you get them from yourself like I'm doing now? Oh, for crying out loud. You're not even paying attention. This is mortifying. If you ever run into the future you again, you're gonna have to apologize to him. No, I used those. Lying to yourself probably doesn't really count as lying, even if it is a different yourself. Look, just take them. Jeez, you've got a lot to learn about causality. Still rubbing that same thing in our own face. Where is this? There we go. Back in time. Grady's live bait. And are there any bees? No bees. Nothing that way except a vast abyss of nothingness, and you're not in the mood for one of those right now. Catch your next meal today. A barrel of chum. You do not want to be pals with it. Chum. This barrel is full of wriggling, sliming grubs. Slimy or sliming, they could be both. This barrel is sealed, but from the smell, you'd say it's full of decaying shellfish. A barrel of miscellaneous useful entrails. This one's full of pickles, probably for catching those fish that like eating pickles. This barrel's full of dirt, but you're sure there's something nasty hiding in it. Let's just leave well enough alone. Just hang out with Grady. Hello and welcome to Grady's Live Bait. I'm Grady and this, he points in various directions, is my bait shop. Grady smiles. Nice to meet you, Grady. Can I see what you have for sale? Yeah. Sure, I can interest you in some minnows? Yep, they're wriggly, quite vigorous, I assure you. Irresistible, the hungry fish. No, I don't want any minnows. Well, that's alright. Maybe you'd like to look at our grasshoppers? No grasshoppers. Gotcha. How about a nice handful of grubs, plump and juicy? Some leeches, chock full of blood? Well, if none of those strike your fancy, I think you're maybe not actually in the market for any live bait. I think you're right. Grady smiles. Anything I could help you with by chance? Well, I'm always looking for people to dig up night crawlers for me. What are those? He reaches under the counter and pulls out a handful of wriggling worms, which he then waves in your face. Ah! Worms! You will never forget that smell. Interested in doing some worm hunting? Sure, I'll get you some gross worms. Good deal. Dig up, let's call it 5. 5 good-sized night crawlers, and I'll make it worth your while. Here, you'll need this. I believe I already have a shovel. How will I know where to dig? Just follow your nose. You want another sniff to refresh your memory? He starts to reach under the counter again. No, I've got it. I'll be back when I have your worms. Surely there's not going to be many places where I have to fight them? Patch smells like night crawlers. You dig up a terrible creature and shove it in your pocket. A plump night crawler. Few things have as big a delta between how cool the thing is and how cool the name is than the night crawler. I suppose that is quite the margin, isn't it? Oh, okay, this is going to be a bit of like an ongoing thing. Like if I were to come back to modern times, I would guess that there would be one. I really thought there would be. Well, let me just head to a random location then. And maybe just get a sense of like, are they gonna pop up any old random place? There's so much property at the museum that I thought that would bode well. I really thought that would have some things. Let's check out the hardware store. Hey there! I got you a souvenir from SIT. Your future self tosses you a pair of pants. Kitchen britches. Add mysticality. You went to the Seaside Institute of Technology? Wait, I'm going to the Seaside Institute of... Yep, don't forget to buy a pair of pants from the gift shop. To give to myself? Can't I just give him these ones? Yeah, but then you won't have them, so you'll want to buy a new pair for yourself. Which ones are these? What did you do? If I tell you, you won't be able to make the choice anymore. This is nonsense. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. How did I get into this situation? I've been wondering that since the last time I had this conversation, and I still have no idea. Alright, well, see you later, I guess. Hey, okay, so it is going to be a matter of randomly wandering around. Maybe I'll find 2. No, still just 1, hey? Well, I probably have a bit of time to wander. Decaying nightstand, discarded in a ditch, which is kind of discarded. Did I say D? It's kind of a weird place to find a nightstand. Maybe somebody got so mad after stubbing their toes all the time that they angrily drove it into the woods and threw it out of the car. Check it and you get junk mail, new technology, and a comfy hat lining. I already have a junk mail. Oh, what am I going to open it with? Because I never had a letter opener before. You can't open it because you don't have a letter opener. I still don't know. I still don't know how I'm actually supposed to open those. Don't know what I'm supposed to keep an eye out for. I guess I'm going to edit around some of this wandering that I'm doing while I'm gathering up night crawlers. There is one out at the distillery. I guess I don't know just yet. Yep, there was one there. I just wasn't sure. It could have been a lot of things. A squirrel chatters angrily nearby. Let me check its stash, and it has meat. Potentially a lot of competitive stink lines out at the junkyard that could easily distract. Seems like I'm safe. You find spider webs stretched across your path. As you move to brush them away, you notice runic patterns woven into the webs. Is it spider writing? You translate it. You determine that the runes are spider speak for send flies. While you're surprised to learn that spiders can write, you're unsurprised to learn that their writing is so pedestrian. Yeah, ho-hum, not winning any writing awards there. No spider Ernest Hemingway to worry about, or you might come along. Oh, what if I went back in time? Oh, I fell out of the truck. But back in time is apparently one of the locations that I can go picking that up. I can't fish. That dude's still knocked out cold. I assume I did everything else here. I really hope that I don't have to move the outhouse specifically to different locations there. Maybe there's more than 5 different places I could have found night crawlers, but that would have been my 5th. So got that crossed off. Pet store / bait shop. Here we go. You start to get the deja vu feeling again and look around to see yourself coming up the road. This would be as good a time as any to give him that pair of pants. You toss the pants to your puzzled self. You went to the bed, don't forget to buy pants at the gift shop. Which one? I can't just give them these? Yeah, but then you won't have them. So if you buy a new pair, which one do you? What do you make them? I don't have the choice. This is nonsense. It sucks and I hate pretty messed up. Didn't even have those other options. How did we get in this situation? Oh, I'll explain to you later. There's like, it's funny, but I don't really see the benefit in going through both sides of the conversation. Just jumping straight through it. I'm all done. Fantastic. You hand over the worms. As promised, honest pay for honest work, 100 meat. You can't help but think the revolting pay would be more appropriate, but Grady beats you to that by pulling... Wait. Think the revolting pay would be more appropriate. Yeah, okay, but Grady beats you to that, pulling a flower pot out from behind the counter and handing it to you with a grin. Potted nightcrawler in a vessel full of its own food, which is also its own waste. Truly wonderful, delicious stuff. Definitely the easiest of those to deal with. Well, I think I am going to leave things at that. Thank you all so much for watching. I don't have I guess I'm getting ready to move over to SIT, so like actually I will do this first because I assume this is what was going to happen. You find a spot next to the window for the potted plant that Grady gave you. You put the crystal Crystal gave you on the shelf. Is that clear? Yeah, crystal. It's a shelf full of knickknacks and tchotchkes. The rub the crystal and you get twinkling fingers. Some of the crystal's magic has rubbed off on you, specifically the finger parts of you. Good. And over by the window here, hello, you awful little cutie. Maybe he'll grow or get bigger or stronger at some point. I have quite a few different perks that I'm able to get just from around my room there. Plus then I have silly ones like when I ran away from battle or when I injured my hand and things. I got a lot going there. All right, that was it. Thank you. Submit some episode titles, and I think next time we'll be moving over to SIT. I hope to see you again soon.